I think this is a good point, and this underlines how the company is maturing and preparing for next steps, given that we are continuing completion of our phase 3 study in relapsing MS and preparation of the commercial launch of the product in the future.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Immunic CEO, Dr. Daniel Vitt. Daniel, very good to speak with you. You're up with the third quarter earnings update. Could you give us a summary of the quarter?
Yeah, it was a very active quarter, of course, with continuing our advancement of vidofludimus in the two main indications, multiple sclerosis. On the one hand, the phase 2 program, CALLIPER in progressive MS, and our twin phase 3 ENSURE studies in relapsing MS. What else? We also, I think, had a very nice event, our R&D Day in New York, which was a very good success, I think. We had two external speakers, Amit Bar-Or from UPenn and Francesca Monterola from University of Torino, talking about the clinical and also some research aspects and the uniqueness of vidofludimus in MS. And finally, also, I think we reported good cash position with our continuing to guide our cash reach into third quarter of next year. So all in all, a pretty active quarter. Maybe the most important thing here to mention was our positive interim analysis of the ENSURE trials, where we confirmed more or less that the study is on track.
Daniel, just on that positive interim analysis from the phase 3 ENSURE program, could you give us some more detail around that?
Yeah, sure. Happy to do that. I think it's an important milestone for the program, given the size and the relevance of the study as a registration study or registration studies. An independent IDMC had a look on unblinded data, and they answered basically two questions. First of all, they confirmed that the study is not futile. So that's the first readout. And the second one is maybe also pretty important, is that they didn't recommend to do a sample size enhancement here, so that more or less we conclude that the studies are on track as they are, also confirming our assumptions for the trial we made when planning the studies.
You also made some significant additions to the team, including the board. So Sabone Skrjanek joining the board, also Jason Tardio. Tell us a little bit about that and how they will help to bolster your team.
I think this is a good point, and this underlines how the company is maturing and preparing for next steps, given that we are continuing completion of our phase 3 study in relapsing MS and preparation of the commercial launch of the product in the future. And we're very glad that we have Simona joining the board, really adding experience with her background specifically on one of the most important MS drugs, Ocrevus, in the past, when she worked with Roche in the past. But also having Jason joining the company is a major step to mature the company from the commercial point of view, given his track record being responsible for the MS franchise of Novartis in the United States for several years, and also working with Biogen for several years before that. So I think it's a good sign of maturation of the organization and preparation for value generation.
Daniel, as you progress through the fourth quarter and into 2025, take us through some of the milestones that are coming up, because a significant one obviously is next April with the top line data from your phase 2 CALLIPER trial.
Yeah, I think that's by far the most important milestone of the company in next year. Specifically, that the study is aiming to demonstrate the neuroprotective potential of the drug. So this is a phase 2 study, and this phase 2 was designed to analyze if vidofludimus calcium is able to have a positive effect on slowing down disability worsening in patients with progressive forms of MS, so those patients which do not have any relapses. We have to understand exactly what's going on. We have added patients in the study with primary progressive, but also with active and with non-active secondary progressive MS, so that we more or less expect a scientifically very robust picture of what is the most interesting indication to continue development further towards approval in progressive forms of MS.
Other milestones that investors should be looking out for, Daniel?
Yeah, sure, of course. Not to forget that we are continuing completion of the ENSURE studies, which are phase 3 studies in relapsing forms of MS, which are supposed to read out data in 2026, or to be completed in 2026. And of course, this is an important milestone, despite it still takes some time to get there.
Well, Daniel, I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress as you head towards those milestones. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.